So this gameplay you guys saw in this video, it was not a person playing. It was a bot made in JRuby. And over my talk, I'm going to tell you how I created that and guide all of you through the concepts I used. This talk, real name is Automating Interface Testing. It's kind of fancy, but the real subject is Diablo 3, so don't worry. My name is Rodrigo. I'm also known as Cafo. And the first thing I want to tell you is that I apologize that my English sucks. The reason that my English sucks is that I learned it by myself in Brazil with no formal training. So if you find something hard to understand, just shout, and I will try to make my best to be understood. Okay, I work for Living Social. I work remotely from Brazil with a couple other developers. And I live in the sunny city of Rio de Janeiro. Like our amazing friend Tender Love, I have 3 cats. This one in the bottom, she pees in everything, so she's in the bottom. And so just for you guys know, in Brazil, we don't speak Spanish. We speak Brazilian Portuguese. It's a bit different, just a bit. Brazil is also known for his amazing coffee. We have tons of really good coffee. And also capybaras. I took this picture in the front of my condo. They were just there, like walking by, and people was just like, oh my God, they're so nice. And there are some small ones too, but I was too afraid of the capybara kill me, so. And in Brazil too, a small group of people in Brazil eat pizza with ketchup, but I don't know that. And I have done a couple talks in my past, most of them in Portuguese, and I know myself. I usually talk really fast because I'm nervous. So I added a couple slides to this presentation that they are not for you, they are for me. They are to help me do things a bit slow. And when you see these slides through the presentation, they are for me, just for me to slow down a bit. Okay, all the announcements made. Let's start with what's an interface test? Okay, and looking on Wikipedia, we can see that interface testing is the process of testing a product's interface to ensure it meets the writing specifications. It's kind of fancy. And in our Ruby world, we usually do 2 kinds of different tests, mostly, unit testing and integration testing. And we have a myriad of tools that we use to make that, like test unit, RSpec, Cucumber. But in the end of the day, interfaces are really complex. So we have a couple attempts to help us to test interfaces, like Capybara. It helps you make shiny things with forms, or Selenium, where you can drive your computer to do the test for you. But interface test is mostly manual because you need to be able to see the interface, to interact with it, to be able to perform a good test. And I tried my best to find good tools, to find a better solution to help me automate these tests. And I think the best one, after a long time trying to find it, was Sikuli. Sikuli is, I think it's an MIT project. And it's very powerful and very different from what we have right now in our Ruby world. For example, that's the classic OS X trash can. If you want to clean up the trash, what do you need to do? You need to click on the trash can, get to this fancy trash can window, click on empty again, and confirm. How would you do that today? Would you write a Ruby script? Apple script? What are we going to use to do that? In the end of the day, you just want to empty the trash can. It's the only thing you want to do. And what you see up this amazing catchphrase is a Sikuli script where you can cut a screenshot of where you want to click and just pass it as an argument to the click method. So the good thing about Sikuli is that it can see Sikuli can see what's in your screen, and it can interact with that. For example, in my job, I used Sikuli to automate lots of mobile testing through the emulators. So we have dozens of different emulators, and you can just script like, click on this button, type the login, and if you see something different than that, go to the next step. I also used Sikuli to cheat on Facebook games, my fault. And also, I made a security project where I had a webcam on my sofa, so when my cat wants to get to it to pee on it, it would react to the presence of cat and sound an alarm. It worked well. And do not get mad at her. She's really cute, as you can see there, with a couple stuffed animals on top of it. She don't really care about what you put on top of her. She's just like, lay down there. As you can see, my cats are really tame. Like, we wanted to make a French version of my cat, but looks like Jamaican. And that's like a usual day of work in my desk. Yeah, sorry. Let's get back to the topic. So the point is to use the Sikuli as a script interface, not using the language created by it. I would need to use Java. And I have done my share of Java in the past. I don't want to get back to it. So I tried to find a way to incorporate it to my Ruby scripts. And the path to do it was JRuby. So the real title of this talk is creating a Diablo 3 buff and pawning your friends by showing off your superior intellect and amazing code skills. So, and I'm going to show you how to accomplish that with Sikuli and JRuby. One important thing is don't do with your account what I'm saying to do that. You can get banned, so you can lose your precious characters and your precious loot. But yeah, I never done a bot before. All I'm saying here, I never tested. You never saw the video, so we can talk about it. I'm gonna get a bit into some concepts about how Diablo games works. And one of that is like a Diablo run. What's a Diablo run? Is when you get a specific mission, a specific quest in the game, and you keep doing it over and over, getting all the loot. They are usually like small maps that you just go through it, killing all the mobs, all the monsters, getting the loot, the items, and the gold that they drop in the floor, and you restart. One of the most famous runs for bots is the cellar run, because it's a really simple scenario that the bot needs to navigate. And you are more interested in this guy, Sarkov, that's in the end of the run. So you kill him, there's a lot of gold in the floor, you get the gold, and you're happy. So to make it easier to understand, I made a couple draws here. So let's say you have a hero, and the hero needs to get to a specific point, and in that point, there's a cellar door. And the cellar door can be opened or can be closed. And your bot needs to know how to deal with that. When you enter this path, you have a corridor and a big room. In the big room, there's a huge monster. You need to go through it, enter the big room, kill the monster, and get the gold from the floor. Thank you. So in sum, you have a hero. Okay. You kill a monster. You get the gold from the floor. And you exit. Sorry, it's exit, not sair. Sair is exit in Portuguese. And you keep doing that over and over. Really cool. So what's in for today? I'm going to guide you through these 9 steps, like initializing the bot, clicking on fixed points, how to move the character, how to find the cellar, restart the run when something's gone wrong, creating the logs, entering the cellar, attacking the demons, and getting the gold. So, okay, let's start with initializing the bot. I'm not going to put the entire script here. I'm just going to show parts of it. And in the end, I'm going to give you guys the entire script. So, but I'm going to guide you guys through all of it. So required Ruby gems, required Java, classic stuff for JRuby script. And we require Java so we can add the Sikuli libraries to the script. You can download the install package on sikuli.org, and I moved the application to my home directory to make it easier to deal with that. Otherwise, you need to get the complete path from your application, and it's kind of lame. And from there, you require the jar file and import all these magic classes to your script. Each of these classes deal with a part of the Sikuli environment, like a region of your screen or your entire screen, settings where you can configure stuff, and the events is where you act on top of the screen or the region. And script by itself is the main unit that holds everything. And then you include Java so all these classes can be added to your script. Cool. Besides that, that's the basic Diablo bot class. It's really simple. It's just initialize a screen object, a Sikuli object, and I have this image path helper that will make it easier for us to find the images on the go. And that's the basic bot. It's the basic thing you can get. But the first thing the bot needs to do is like click on a fixed point, because when you click somewhere, the character is gonna walk there and try to and be guided by your mouse click. So the first way to do it is like you can use the screen object there and just pass a location. And this location is X and Y grid, when on 0 is the top of the screen, the top left, and you can just find out where you want to click by passing these fancy numbers. Yeah. And so our script, the first version of our script will just like switch to the Diablo 3 app and click on a specific point that's gonna make the bot runs. And we can add these two instructions to the cellar run method that will be our main method to make the bot works. So let's see how that would run. So it's really simple. It's just switch to Diablo and click on a specific point. Obviously, this point is specific to this screen resolution. So if you want to run the bot in a different resolution, you would need to point to a different point. But there is no magic there. And from there, we need to make the bot continue walking towards the cellar. And to do that, we can use auto movement. On Diablo, you can define a key that when we press it, the character will start walking to the cursor position, wherever it is. And when you press it again, it will stop. And using that, I defined the X key for it and created this method. Basically, to press the X key down, wait for a specific delay, default is half second, and press, release the key. So it's really simple. With that, I was able to make also a multi-movement method. Really simple, hackish, lame. And with that, you can say like how many times you want to move the bot. So we can do stuff like that. And say like after you click on this point, keep moving by 7 times. That's what we would get. It's gonna click and gonna continue walking for 7 times. And as you can see there, there's already like a closed cellar door there. So it's really simple. Thank you. Thank you, Kat. So as you guys can see here, I'm playing again the same movie. We need to get a bit further down the screen to make it close to the cellar. You see, we are kind of far from it. So what you're gonna do to leave it in a better spot is click on the bottom of the screen and move it 3 times. So we just add that to the cellar run method, and that's what happened. Yeah, you can see the cellar is open there, so it's a different situation, but you are in a way better spot to deal with the cellar detection. Really cool. Now I'm going to talk about how we can find the cellar and make yourself into it. I have this method here, cellar open, and it basically checks the screens for that specific image. If Sikuli can find something that looks like the open door of the cellar, it's going to return true. Otherwise, it's going to return false. I also created another helper method called cellar's closed, and it's basically the same thing. It tries to find the closed wooden door. With that, I can have this really simple logic here. If cellar is open, I call a method called enter cellar. Otherwise, I restart the run. And it's important to say that these two images are basically screenshots of the game. They are not special by any means. I just cut them up from a game run, saved them as JPEGs or PNGs or whatever in the script directory, and Sikuli can compare this current screen with these images. So it's really simple. And it's also very powerful because it can find some deviation on the images, and even with that, recognize stuff really well. So we now need to create, where is it? Okay, we now need to create two different methods, one for the character enter in the cellar, and the other one to restart the run. So let's see how we would restart the run. And I'm going to show you guys how a manual execution of a restart. You press ask, click on exit, wait the 10 seconds. It's going to take a bit more seconds. Not fun. Yeah, so and then you get back to the login screen, enter the game again, wait for the load, and you get back. So basically you have to press ask, click at leave game, wait for a bit, click at resume game, and wait a bit more. And how can we accomplish that using Sikuli? Let's see. We can press the S key, click on a coordinate just to make it different. Otherwise, you can just like cut this image like I done here and click on it. Wait for 30 seconds, a bit more than 10, because your computer may have some latency. Click on resume, wait a bit. This other value that you need to wait is based on the computer configuration. And we can invoke the cellar run again. Based on what we saw until now, there's 3 different methods that we never implemented. So let's go through it and see what we can get. We can create this press method. Is basically what we do for the movement, but we pass a key option, and we can then pass the ask key constant, like that Sikuli provide for us. Really simple. And the screen click method also accepts some allocation instead of an image. So we can just pass a specific location, and it would move the mouse to this position, click on it, and that's it. Also have this fancy click that we will expect a pattern, like an image, and it will wait. It will run synchronously, so it will wait for the image to appear on the screen, and when it finds it, it's gonna click on it. I'm passing 0 in the end because I don't care if it returns something. I just want to make the click happen if it works, and so it's really simple. So with that, we have a really simple bot that walks to the right path and can reset the run. After that, I found like I need to find a way to log the execution of my script, like how many runs I have made, how many times I restart the runs, and I think easiest way to do it was using OpenStruct. It's really simple, it's powerful, and it's on the basic language. So I used it on the script. Basically, I have this fancy object here. When I log the runs, the number of times of the cellar is closed, the cellar is opened, or when I can't find the cellar by any reason. And I added that to the cellar opened if method. So if the cellar is opened, I add one to open it and enter the cellar. Otherwise, I add one to close it and restart the run. And if I can't find the cellar by any way, it's not opened, it's not closed, something's wrong, I add one to not found and restart the run. And that's an example of the OpenStruct object of 220 runs. I got 90 closed cellars and some open. Not much. I never made that. It's all from my mind. So let's say that in my mind I have a cellar and I need to enter on it now, right? Okay. So when you enter the cellar, you get into this specific screen. And I need to find a way to know that my character is inside the cellar. How can I do that? And so the first thing is I need to create a method to enter the cellar. And this method is really simple. I click on a coordinate to enter the cellar when I'm down there, and I know the cellar is opened. And these coordinates, it's basically the opened cellar. And I wait for 2 seconds so the cellar can be loaded. After that, I try to find on the screen this small lamp. As you can see here, inside the cellar we have this lamp that's not available outside of it. So if I can find it, I'm inside the cellar. Yay. Otherwise, I need to restart the run. Something wrong happened. So yeah, that's the shiny lamp. After that, I need to click on the bottom of the screen so I can move my character to the right position to attack the evil demon Sarkov. And how I do that? I just calculate the position and wait for a bit. All of that depends on your resolution, and you need to do a lot of testing, like where I'm going to click and the size of the window. So we need to make sure everything's perfect for your resolution and your bot. It's not like you're going to get my script and run and everything will be perfect. It will not. And you can get banned. Don't do that. Don't do it. Okay. So yeah, and you get into this specific position and you can click on the mob until he's dead. Now we need to attack the demon. How can we do that? How can we attack the demon? On Diablo, you have this option where you press the shift key, and since you are a ranged character, you keep attacking from there. Keep attacking all the time until you stop pressing the mouse button and you release the shift key. So basically what you need to do is you need to position your character in the right place, activate the ranged attack, wait for enough time, deactivate the attack, and collect the money. And how can we do that? Based on all I showed you guys, it's probably be easy for you to understand. You just need to press shift, and then you trigger the mouse button and keep attacking. You wait for a bit, then release shift and release the mouse button. It's really simple. You just need to calculate how much time your character will take to kill the monsters, and you need to use a specific skill that can kill more than one monster at the same time. Like and in the video, I use a demon hunter slingshot that can take a lot of different monsters at the same time. So if you just wait there, you're gonna kill everyone. After that, you collect the gold. It's the only thing you need to do. And how we can do that? I created this simple method that press the Alt key and look the screen for the word gold. Why I'm doing that and not clicking on the golden pieces? It's because the golden pieces are really small and they are shiny. So even if you try to find a specific color, it will be hard to get all of them. But if you press Alt, Diablo is going to show you all the labels for all the items in the screen. So we can basically click Alt. all the gold words are going to appear. And with that, you can see, oh, we have gold on the screen. What should we do now? We can make this crazy, simple thing that if there is any gold, you click on the gold word, and you get all the gold. Otherwise, you keep doing it. No, otherwise, you restart the run. But after you click on the gold, you see if there's any gold again, and keep doing it. Really simple. So, yeah, basically that's it. Let's see how everything goes together. It's basically clicks on the point, keep walking, click on the other point, find the cellar, click on it, recognize the language. I told you that I speak very quickly when I'm nervous, so I'm basically done. And you can make the bot way better if you want, but you're going to get banned, so don't do it. And you can make it click on purple items. They are really fancy items. You can just look for any bytes with the specific purple of the title of the items. You can do whatever you want. The script is here. I'm going to tweet the link later, so just look for the RubyConf hashtag or follow me. And you guys are going to have a bit more time because I'm done. Thank you. And if there is any questions, we have plenty of time. You? Sorry? The question is how close the images needs to match. Sikuli do a really good they have a really good deviation algorithm. So if, for example, you get a Facebook avatar and you resize it by the width for 200%, it's still gonna find it. It's really good, but it's slow. So if the image is too different, it's gonna take a while for it to process. Any other questions? Go for it. Yeah, so the question is about my experience of using it to do real work, not getting virtual gold. So, yeah, basically, as I said before, we had some apps that run on a different number of devices, basically like all iOS devices and a lot of Android devices. And it's hard to test that manually by yourself in the emulators all the time. We even don't try to use like some services where you can sign up and you can test on virtually any Android device for real through a VNC connection. And Sikuli is nice because all the scripts that I made to test on the emulators worked on this device, remote device later. It's basically the same concept. I get the screenshots of the buttons and the text areas. Sikuli have a kind of slow but works OCR ability, so you can convert something that's on an image on the screen to text. And it's very powerful, but you can basically follow what I have done here and create a script to automate whatever you want. It's just slow. It's not really fast. That's why I made like 8 times the speed when getting the gold, because it needs to check all the time for the gold text. It's not that quick. I hope I answered. Okay? Yeah, to get a legendary or epic item, all my tests what I have done, because I checked for the X of the color. So you can get just one single pixel image with the color and look for it. And legendary is really good because there's almost nothing in the screen with the same orange color. Anyone else? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, but it's going to take the same time to find all of them. What I have done in the past, I threaded it and put each one in a thread. But the problem is like trying to find the pixels on the screen in a game screen. It's really hard because everything is changing. It keeps like iterating. There's no. I tried my best to make it better, but it's not that simple. Go ahead.
It might be good to point out, I think on like a regular application, Sikuli is a little faster.
Yeah, because you don't have everything. If, like here we are using OpenGL or DirectX, so it's way more complex to find out. But if you have, for example, the emulator, the mobile emulator I used, it was like a really tiny part of the screen. It's way faster to find something there than like a huge game window. So it's slow, but it get the job done. It's not a real problem. Exactly. Like, I think I showed it, like, you can use all the entire screen and it will be freaking slow. Or you can define, like, I just want this small, tiny area. But, like, when I made my cat sofa alarm, I had, a webcam hooked on, looking the sofa, like, I'm going to kill the cat. And I made the image really small, so it would be easier for you to see, like, the cat is going there, alarm, alarm. Anyone else? I'm really bad to see, so if there is someone, just shout and wave. Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you guys so much.